Stand at the edge of the water. Look out far enough, and somewhere beneath that surface, more than 30,000 species of fish are moving through the dark. 30,000. And yet, if you think back over every meal you've ever eaten, the list barely reaches double digits. Salmon, tuna, maybe cod, if you're feeling adventurous. That's strange, isn't it? We didn't run out of options. The ocean never stopped offering. So somewhere back in time, something or someone started deciding what counted as food and what didn't. The question is simple. The answer isn't. For early humans living along coastlines and riverbanks, the ocean wasn't generosity. It was risk, wrapped in scales. A wrong bite of unfamiliar flesh could carry toxins with no smell, no warning, no second chance. Parasites hid in raw tissue. Some species turned lethal only after certain seasons, certain temperatures, certain conditions no one could see just by looking. This wasn't pickiness. It was precision. Every fish that eventually became normal to eat had already killed someone who didn't know better. Entire family lines could end over a single meal. So the ocean wasn't a buffet. It was a test. And most species never passed it. Now, walk into any supermarket. The fear is gone. The fish sit in neat rows, wrapped in plastic, odorless, silent as if they were always the only options that ever existed. Most people don't think twice reaching for salmon. Why would they? It's just what's there. But someone, somewhere, decided that a long time ago, not you. Fishing industries, supply chains, generations of habit have done the choosing on your behalf. You're not selecting food. You're inheriting a decision. And most people never even realize the choice was ever made. So how did anyone figure out what was safe? Not through guessing. Through watching. Early humans studied which fish birds ate without dying, which ones bears avoided, which species, once eaten, left someone sick, or worse, and which left them fine, meal after meal after meal. That knowledge didn't stay with one person. It got repeated, warned, passed down through generations until avoiding certain fish became instinct, not memory. Smell, color, texture, even the way a fish moved before it died, all of it became data, long before anyone had a word for science. Archaeologists have found the proof. Ancient shellfish middens, fish bone deposits stacked along coastlines, revealing the same species chosen again and again. This wasn't random. It was inherited intelligence. At Pinnacle Point in South Africa, archaeologists found evidence of humans harvesting shellfish and coastal species 165,000 years ago. Not occasionally, consistently, deliberately. That's not scavenging. That's a relationship. And biology explains why certain fish won that relationship and others didn't. Species high in omega-3s, low in unpredictable toxins, with enough caloric return to justify the effort, those were the ones worth returning to. Evolution quietly rewarded the communities that figured this out, and quietly erased the ones that didn't. Because some fish carry ciguatoxin, others carry tetrodotoxin. Both are invisible, odorless, and capable of killing within hours. The ocean wasn't hiding these dangers randomly. The patterns were there. Ancient humans learned to read them, and that reading became the foundation of everything we now call seafood. But here's where it gets bigger than food. What happened with fish happened with everything. Every culture that developed strong food taboos, preparation rituals, or deep culinary traditions wasn't being arbitrary. They were encoding survival into habit, so carefully that eventually nobody needed to remember why the rule existed, only that it did. that instinctive disgust you feel towards certain textures or smells. That's not personality. That's an ancient warning system, still running quietly in the background. Most of what we call culture is really just survival knowledge that forgot its own origin story. The fish on your plate is one small thread in that much larger pattern. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Next time you reach for salmon without thinking, pause for just a moment. That instinct didn't come from you. It came from someone standing barefoot on a shoreline tens of thousands of years ago, watching the water, learning what it offered and what it took. They tasted. They observed. They remembered. And because they survived long enough to pass that knowledge forward, you never had to learn the hard way. The ocean hasn't changed. Those 30,000 species are still out there, still moving through the dark. But you eat exactly what your ancestors decided was worth surviving for. You never questioned it. You never needed to. Somewhere back in time, someone already did that for you. And without knowing it, you trusted them completely.